One of the simplest ways to let go and release something that is energetically weighing you down is by doing a cord cutting ritual. Now, there are many ways to do a cord cutting ritual. In today's video, I'm super excited to share with you a candle cord cutting ritual because personally, I believe these are the most effective. So if you are ready to let go of something that is weighing you down energetically, maybe it's a person, a job, some kind of situation, and you're ready to release, then stick around because we are diving into today's video. Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Courtney, and I gotta say, before we jump into this, right now is such a great time to do a cord cutting ritual. As I'm filming this, I'll be posting this in October 2023, and this month we have so much energy with this huge ending happening at the end of the month. We have an eclipse, a lunar eclipse in Taurus, and it's the last eclipse in this eclipse cycle, so it is all about this major ending happening. And being that we are in Libra season, going into Scorpio season, you know, Libra is all about relationships and balance, and Scorpio season, we really dive into our shadow. So this is really a prime time to do a cord cutting ritual. I'm excited to be talking about this on my channel. For the flow of today's video, I'm going to briefly start out with explaining what a cord cutting ritual is. Then I'll be sharing when it is the best time to do this, depending on what you're going through, how to know, you know, maybe it's time to do a cord cutting ritual. I'll then be sharing everything that you need to do this ritual. I'll be showing a tutorial so you could see how to do it. And then lastly, I'll be ending out this video sharing my own personal experiences doing cord cutting rituals and the impact that they can really make in your life. So what is a cord cutting ritual? In essence, it is energy work that helps release energetic ties or cords that bind us to a specific person, situation, habit, anything like that. These cords tend to be negative. They tend to really weigh us down, to drain our energy, and we can feel the effect of them in an emotional way. A big part of a cord cutting ritual is visualization, you know, imagining that cord between you and that thing, and also your intention going into the cord cutting ritual. It is really amazing how we can use objects to symbolize this cord being cut and this release that we feel after we're done doing the ritual. Now, I will say, if you currently are going through something that maybe feels scary or dangerous, please make sure that you communicate with anyone that you feel safe around and let them know how you're feeling, because although this can help, you know, energetically, we have to also think about the seriousness of a situation. So always use your discernment and use your best judgment when you are dealing with tough situations. Let's now go over when it is the best time to do a cord cutting ritual. The primary time that people will normally do a cord cutting ritual is when a certain relationship has ended in their life. And this can be a partnership, although it doesn't have to be a romantic partnership. It could be a friendship, it could be involving your career, a job, really anything that has come to a halt and is over. It's also advised to do a cord cutting ritual when you are ready to really let go of something, whether it's a person, a habit, you know, an addiction, you know, anything that you feel is really disrupting your flow, your energy of you being the best version of yourself. That's really an indicator of when you need to do a cord cutting ritual. And lastly, you can do a cord cutting ritual if you are ready to release past traumas. This is very potent and very powerful. I know a few people that have done a cord cutting ritual to help release trauma, and they swear that it's helped a lot. You know, doing these little rituals can really bring this sense of empowerment. So I do advise, you know, if you are going through, you know, something, or you want to release trauma, that's another reason to do a cord cutting ritual. So now that we've gone over what a cord cutting ritual is, the best time to perform a cord cutting ritual, let's now dive into what you need to do a cord cutting ritual. All of the items that I'm going to share with you are quite easy to find. You can definitely find them online. But a lot of local, stores will have these items. The first thing is a black taper candle. This really symbolizes negativity or the thing that you are banishing. The next thing you'll need is a white taper candle. This really symbolizes purity. It can symbolize a new beginning, just in the realm of newness and fresh energy. Next, you'll need a string or piece of yarn. This really symbolizes the tie or the cord. Next, you will need something that strikes a flame. So if you have a lighter or a match, anything that creates fire, this symbolizes death and rebirth. You will also need paper and pen. This is part of the ritual. You're gonna write down what your cords are before you perform the ritual. And lastly, I advise having some kind of plate because we are melting candles down. It can get a little messy. We wanna make sure that everything's safe and secure, so I definitely advise having some kind of ritual plate. So I went ahead and filmed a little tutorial for you guys, so I'm just gonna talk over that and explain all the steps in how to do this cord cutting ritual. First thing I just wanna say is you always wanna keep safety in mind, especially when you're working with fire. So make sure before you do this ritual that you are in a safe place. Maybe you have a little extinguisher if the flame gets too high, or even water. You want to make sure you are creating a safe space to do this. So first and foremost, make sure you're in a good area. Next, I think it's really good if you can kind of get yourself in a quiet, relaxed state, maybe putting some frequency music on or something that brings you a lot of calmness, and you're really just going to sit with yourself and really distinguish what your energetic cords are. What is it that is causing you to feel discomfort in your life? What is weighing you down? If it's a certain person, you can definitely write their name down, or if it's a certain, situation, put it all pen to paper, write it out. What is it that this energetic cord is, and claim that you are releasing it. I like to take that paper and fold it away from me once, fold it away from me twice, maybe fold it away for me a third time, and then I like to place it under the plate. This is optional, you don't have to do this, but this is just something I do. Next up, we're going to pick up a taper candle. We're gonna melt the bottom of it and stick it on the plate. We want it to be really secure. And then we'll do it again, repeat the process with the other taper candle. I wouldn't put them too far apart from each other, a good amount of space, because we will be tying some yarn around them. We don't want it to be too far away. When you are starting to tie that yarn around the candles, this is an opportunity to visualize that cord, right? What is the situation? Think about how you are binding yourself in that situation in this moment. You're admitting that you have this connection and that you're ready to let go of it. Once your yarn is completely binded to both candles, you'll go ahead and light each candle. As the flames are burning and the candle is melting down and down and down, and it starts to burn that yarn, a lot of people like to interpret kind of like this whole interaction. As the cord is burning, they will think of what they wrote down and how it is translating in the process of really the candles burning and everything going about in that moment. As I was filming this, it was quite interesting to see the interpretation. I wasn't able to finish the entire candle because I was running out of battery, to be honest, but this is what the plate looks like now. As you can see, everything's melted down, and sometimes some people, they will interpret the wax melts how they look. This is definitely optional if you see something kind of interesting. It's just another way of kind of like getting more answers out of your ritual. I would say, looking at this, just if I had any observation here, I would say that it looks like there was definitely a boundary and a line being, distinguished here. Maybe the boundaries were set. It looks like a pretty clean line, but you can have fun with it and kind of see, what your intuition is really telling you in this process. What are you observing? It's kind of like a fun little element you can do. So to finish off this video, I'd love to share with you my own personal experience of what happened when I did this about a year ago. Like I said, during eclipses, it's a great time to do like a cord cutting ritual, anything where there's like an ending going on, it's a great time. So last October actually, I went to a wonderful crystal shop that's local to me called Mama Wonder Bar, and I believe it was the new moon, or was it the full moon? It might have been the full moon in Taurus. I think it was, because we're about to have a full moon in Taurus, so I think it was the full moon in Taurus last year. I could be wrong. Regardless, there was an eclipse going on, it was in Taurus, and we all met together at Mama Wonder Bar and we did these burning rituals together. And I wrote down what was really weighing me down and just what I really wanted to release. And I felt like I was so in tune with my emotions and I was so clear with what I wanted. And basically what I was calling in was a new job. I felt like I wasn't feeling fulfilled in my current role and I wanted something different. I knew that there was something better for me out there. And I was really setting this intention of energetically letting go of my current situation so I could welcome in a new situation. We did the burning ritual, and it was so funny watching, my process, watching my candle burn. It was like the yarn came off both of the candles really evenly, and they both were like unbinded, and they both burned down really nicely. Like it kind of felt like a good situation for both sides in a way. And I was like, okay, that was interesting. And then I think it was about 3 months later, I ended up getting a job offer and I got a new job. So, it was part of this kind of like story of what I was manifesting at that time. It came to fruition, and I felt like really putting this out there during eclipse season, it kind of helped attract a new situation for me. That's one way that I've used cord cutting rituals. You can let go of something to bring something in. There is this rebirth element that you can really tap into, whether it's for self-improvement or really calling in what you feel like you deserve, to banish something that isn't for you, a toxic situation. You can really do whatever you want with this ritual and just really feel the effects of an energetic weight being lifted off of you. So again, as you're watching this is a great time to do a cord cutting ritual, but in general, whenever you are watching this, I hope that this helps you understand when to do this, why to do this, how to do this, and definitely feel free to share any experiences in the comments down below. I'd love to hear how it went if you did this cord cutting ritual and you saw results quite quickly. I'd love to hear about them. If you liked today's video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you are new here, I would love it if you subscribe to come on and check out some of my other videos. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you in my next one.